Alright, this is experimentation time. Basically what I'm going to do is try something that I've been wanting to try for a while, which is mold my own buttons for the Xbox One. So essentially it comes down to making a mold that you can eventually fill with plastic and mold your own buttons out of like resin. So those can all fit in there in that little circle or square that I have drawn there, and then this would go over top of it, and then we would pour the rubber down inside of it. I've never done this before, so hey, here's to learning. What I am going to do here is just a little bit of prep work by putting some tape down to help hold the buttons in place while I'm pouring in the rubber. Normally the guides that I've read, they want you to do this with double-sided tape, but I don't have any right now, so YOLO. So just ripping off some pieces of painter's tape, and essentially I'm just going to line these together to make like one sticky piece here. Just going to try to stay inside the confines of the square that I already drew, like that. And then take these pieces of tape and tape this down like this. Yeah, it's gonna work. Alright, so that's there, and then basically I just have that flat surface to work in. Pretty good. Alright, and I think I actually made this box like too high, so I don't want to use more molding stuff than is necessary because it was like really expensive. Yeah, I'm actually pretty comfortable with that. So most of the guides that I've read, what they suggest doing is putting like a bead of hot glue around the edges. So I'm just gonna plug this guy in and do that, and then I will I'll pause the camera, go upstairs and grab the molding stuff, and this is actually just gonna heat up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut the camera now, but basically I'm just gonna take this and glue all along the edges so that none of the material can leak out. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some little mixing cups, Dixie cups, and something to mix it with, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've only got a few minutes of camera left, but essentially I got 2 cups I'm going to use for measuring out equal amounts of the parts that I need to mix, one that they're going to get poured into, and essentially this is it. This is part B. It's OOMOO silicone rubber compound from Smooth On, and this is the part A side to it. And it's a fast cure portable silicone for making pour-on rubber molds. Pot life is 30 minutes, and rubber cures at 73 degrees in about 6 hours. So I'm just gonna leave this guy go overnight. So like I said, I only have a few minutes on the camera, so I'm going to try to do this quick. So since this is like liquid rubber, I'm only going to do like a hole in it like that. Kind of looks like thick Pepto-Bismol. So I'm actually not going to need a ton, but since I'm mixing two different equal parts of it together, I kind of want to make sure I get enough. I'd rather make too much than not enough, even though this stuff's like $30 a bottle. It's definitely on the expensive side. But like I was pretty much just kind of dying to try this, so I figured, you know, what the hell. So I'm just lining these up by volume, so that they're about the same. The cups are like kind of semi-transparent, so I can see through the sides. Let me get this off of the threads here, so it doesn't turn into rubber. So like this is what they use for making like masks and stuff in movies, or making small parts. The pink side is a little thicker than the blue. And it just kind of coats when like whatever it gets on. So yeah, I've never done this before, so this will be, you know, interesting, you know, one way or the other. Volume wise, I've got enough. Just go ahead and mix these thoroughly. The pot life, which is the time that you can keep it in the pot before it starts setting, is 30 minutes. So I want to make sure I take a good like minute or two just to mix this. You know, real thoroughly. Scrape the walls. Make sure I get the whole thing. Alright, so the consistency is like purple, it looks like. So I'm just going to pour this in here nice and slowly. And the reason why you want it to go slow is so that there's no air bubbles. So long story short, some of the other projects that I'm looking to do with these are custom thumbsticks, custom buttons, and then eventually making my own like trigger stop shims and things like that. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. This needs to dry overnight, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And you know, I'll take a video tomorrow whenever I take it apart, and maybe whenever I get some casting resin that I can actually pour into the molds on the other side, and you know, make some clear buttons with, or something along those lines. So yeah, thanks for watching. Alright, so it's like 6 a.m. the next morning. I'm just getting ready for work. Figured we'd you know, pull this off before I had to run out the door. little wet there, even though it's been drying for like 10 hours. Yeah, I'm like pretty happy that I put down that like hot glue, because it definitely made it underneath. the Lego pieces here, as you can see. Well, some of them anyway. Alright, cool. So, it's just got like a little bit of a lip, obviously, because it goes onto some of these pieces. But really, this should be able to pop these right out. And there you go. So 4-button mold. So basically what I'll do is I have to get some hard plastic resin, and you know, whatever color dye I want to dye them, and mix them together, and then I'll just pour those in there, and you can see like down on the tops that there's like those little notches. Maybe you can see it there. So notches and things like that, and then that's what lets them you know, work for a specific button or a specific action. And you know, yeah, it got down into the bottom of the Lego mix too, so that's kind of cool. This stuff is stretchy, so just as a bonus, I also stuck a joystick down in one, just to see, you know, what would happen, because I was curious. So this is just the cup that I mixed it in, and this might not be, yeah, the bottom of that's all goopy. So it must not have gotten mixed well, but that also tells me that you know, you get a lot of time to work with it. Alright, well, I'm just gonna let that sit for the day. Now I got rubber and shit all over my fingers. But anyway, thanks. And that's how you make a mold for buttons.